Hey, welcome back. In this video, we'll do a quick flip through of my everyday carry notebook with the new setup. We'll look at this Moonman Q1. I'll give you an update on that. And we'll look at the Rodia A4. This is a spiral bound notebook that I use to take notes in. All right, let's get into it. We can start with the Rhodia. I really like Rhodia paper. I like Maduri paper too. Rhodia is equally as good, I think. These composition books are 8.8 inches by 11.7 inches, or 22.5 centimeters by 29.7 centimeters if you're into that kind of thing. And this is the 80-gram paper, so it's very fountain pen friendly. I haven't noticed it leaking through at all, no matter how heavy. I'll lay down some ink. So very nice. You know, a little shadowing through there, but you can't, it doesn't bleed through at all. It's got kind of a weird, I think these are meant for taking minutes in a meeting. It's got kind of a weird format for a composition book, but I really like it. I have to take a lot of staffing notes and meeting notes, and I like these because they're perforated, so you can bend it and then tear it out and have a neat page to go through a fax machine or a copier. And that's about all I have to say about that. The covers are kind of a plastic, I'm sure that's plastic, so they're really durable, and it's a double wire bound, so these can really hold up. I'll get several months out of these, although sometimes I'll fill up a couple of pages in a day. I take a lot of notes, because if you don't document it, it didn't happen. And you can tell I've been playing with ink. So these are made in France. The French know what they're doing. It comes to notebooks, because I really like it. So not really an update. I just wanted to show what I use as a companion to my little bullet journal. So for more detailed notes, minutes of meetings, things like that, goes in here. And all my appointments and to-do list goes in here. All right, let's look at the Moonman. So I did a kind of an unboxing and a quick review to begin with. And I really like this fountain pen. It's a fat, little chunky pen. Holds a ton of ink, and I write a lot. And I've only had to fill this up once in, gosh, when did I upload that other video? It's been about a month ago. The only thing, I keep writing on myself. The only thing is it has kind of a greenhouse effect if you leave it out in the sun, and it will condense. Is that the right? Evaporate, condensate? I don't know. Again, I don't know words. Onto the cap there, but that's easy to clean. I'll just take some tissue paper and run up there and clean it out. And what a great size for the pocket. I like the thickness. If you suffer from writing cramps, having a big chunky pen like that, really it's comfortable to write with. I didn't think it was going to be, but it really is. And I think it's really neat. I get a lot of compliments on that, or at least stares. People stare. Like, what the heck have you got in your hand? They make another one. I think it's called the M2. That is slimmer and maybe longer. I think I'm going to get that because I really like these. They're really nice. It's just a big hunk of acrylic. I guess that's acrylic. And they've milled out this end of it because you can see the end of their drill bit or their milling bit. Yeah, it's just a beautiful pen. Really well made. Doesn't leak at all. All this is just from me kind of scribbling on stuff and getting it all over me. And I I was working on a fountain pen this weekend too, and kind of inked myself. It posts really good, and it kind of creates a little suction there so that it doesn't come off. And I was afraid it was going to scratch up the barrel there, but this is really smooth and this is really hard, so it hasn't really scratched it up at all. So I'm very pleased with it. The nib, this is an extra fine, I believe, and it's very smooth. It's not as smooth as my TWSBI right out of the box, but it is smooth enough, and I'm really impressed with it. So that's my update. I like it. Get one. Okay, so if you've seen any of my other videos on this little everyday carry bullet journal, you know that I'm doing this in a traveler's notebook passport size. This is the camel color. And I do everything in pencil. And right now I am using the Pentel 209. This is a 9mm. Great little pencil, really cheap. And it has an eraser. So last video I set this thing up again. I did a kind of a refresh, and I put this thing in there. And that lasted about 2 days. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know why. I just don't like it. Well, I do know why. I'll tell you why. So you have to stack your cards up. You can't just put them, you know, side by side. They have to be stacked up. And then there's a little pocket here for a card, but it's facing out toward the outside, and that kind of freaked me out. I'd hate to lose my card. And then this, what really bugged me about it was this zipper. That's a really small opening. I can't get anything in there without really having to work at it. And that zipper is really rough, and it's really shiny. I just didn't want something shiny on there. And it's lumpy. And that big fat zipper right there is just a big lump. So I ripped it out and I put this plastic thing back in here. And I like this plastic thing. I've got some membership cards to Lodge and to Scottish Rite. And I've got a debit card, driver's license, and concealed carry permit. And I still have an empty slot. And it is flat and it's large. I think it's larger than this thing. Is it? It's a little bit bigger. But there's a lot of room. This could have been bigger. They could have made this bigger. And they could have come up with a better zipper. And they could have, you know, made that facing in instead of out. But they didn't, so it's gone. I just don't like it. And keeping some Post-it notes as per my usual. And I am using paper clips to kind of bundle pages together so that I can just quickly flip through. So I can really flip through from my spending tracker to my future log to my dailies to my monthly spread, the current month that I'm on. So I don't have to flip through to find things. I've got it right where I need it. That's the way my monthlies are looking. And, you know, it's a great way to just kind of mark out a week-long event that's happening. And then if I go to schedule something else, I know, hey, wait a minute, I'm on call that week. I'm out of town this week. And I went ahead and populated what I knew was coming up in the future. And I put my month on the end of the page there so I can kind of flip through and find a month really quickly if I need to. Another thing I think I may have shown on other videos is right across from the day that I'm working, my dailies, I just put another Post-it for a scratch sheet of paper. And that way if somebody sticks their head in my door and gives me some piece of information, I can jot it down and then I can decide later what I want to do with it. If it's not something that I know that I need to log into here, or something that I can just take care of right now. It's also a good place to do some scribbling or, you know, do a quick calculation, anything like that. And then the other side is that other pocket that I made, and I've been keeping my business cards in there. And then that's it. It's a very streamlined and very functional and kind of a no-nonsense kind of thing. There's no stickers, there's no washi tape. I'm not against that. I just don't have room for it. And I'm not very creative, so I don't really need that. The most artistic thing is put cigar bands in this thing. So I just don't have room. I mean, this thing is really tiny, so I just don't have room for that. And the other side is some more Post-it notes. And that zipper where I keep some cash, some stamps, and things like that. I did end up putting my little stencil ruler, straight edge, on a paper clip back on the rear cover. And that kind of smooths out this knot for one thing. And it's in there securely. So that's it. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's a little bit thinner than it was before, and it is really focused on what I need it to do right now. So I'm going to live with it, and I'll do an update every now and then. I may include it in pocket dumps, just because it was really, you've seen this probably till you're about sick of it. But if you've not, there's a playlist with all the different videos about how I set this thing up and how I'm using it. I also have a playlist on bullet journaling in these, field notes, and a moleskine pocket. I think my first ever video was on that. And maybe not this specific one, but I've been bullet journaling in little pocket-sized notebooks for a long, long time. And I like it because it's always with me. And if I leave it at home, I'm probably not going to do it. But if it's in my pocket, I can pull it in my back pocket and scribble some notes in there or do what I need to do. Okay, that's it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.